Hey there! Welcome to another episode of J&B Tuning. Well guys, I've been pretty much working here and trying to do some research on the type of lift that I'm going to be putting on the garage. I thought about the 2-post lift. At the same time, I've been thinking about the idea of doing the 4-post as well. There's a pros and cons on those two types of lifts. And starting with the 2-post lift, the good thing about it is that the fact that you could easily work on many things with it. I would say that there's a lot more agility or easiness of having it, in a sense that you could do a lot more work in the process, where you can pretty much get underneath and work on your brakes, your tires, your suspension, your exhaust system, you're dropping the motor of the car per se. I thought about doing that and just the ease of use in that sense. But at the same time, I also think about the idea of storage. And so having to be able to convert my 3-car garage into a 4-car garage with the additional lift, 4-post lift to have one car on top of each other. I'm leaning towards the idea of the 4-post at this point, given the fact that I have 4 vehicles that I have to store in this garage. In terms of the actual workability around using the 4-post lift, I think you can still attain a lot of the things you can do on a 2-post with just a slight adjustment, possibly more money, more cost in terms of getting that hydraulic lift that you have on the bottom or in the middle, where you could basically adjust, and you can still attain having to lift the front or the back with just almost the same idea that the 2-post lift can do, or as simple as putting a bottle jack underneath and jacking it in a normal way. Or I even thought about putting a scissor lift on the ramp itself. I don't know if anybody would have done that, but there's also another idea. Of course, it's an additional cost in the process. But yeah, there's several combinations that I'm working with, and still shopping around, checking around different 4-post lift out there here locally. I'm eyeing on the Lift King product based here in Calgary. So anyhow, in terms of the different sizes they have, I've been leaning towards the middle one. To go to the website here, Lift King's website. Lift King is very popular provider in this sense, in terms of all those different type of lifts. There's the Pro King 8 extra large, and there's the Pro King 14x4, which is the biggest one they have. But I'm eyeing on the middle one here, which is the 8 large. And it says here pretty much, as you can see in this picture here, because sometimes I will be lifting and working on my SUVs as well. They're in the length of about 15 to 16 feet long and 6 to 7 width-wise. The Pro 8 extra large lift will probably suffice in what basically the application that I'm working with. The smallest car will be the Golf, or well, the Suno is probably smaller than the Golf. The width of 66.7 inches or 5.5 foot long. Lengthwise is about 164.1 inches or 13.7 feet. Height wise, you're looking at around the 44.3 feet height in the Asuna Sunfire. In terms of the Golf itself, the width of the Golf is about 5 feet 9 inches width-wise. Length is about 168.3 inches or 14 feet, that is. And height-wise, it's about the 56.5 inches feet that is, it's about 4.7 feet. So the longest vehicle that we have today, and I won't see myself pretty much buying any vehicle bigger than this one, technically. The MDX itself, width-wise, is about 77.8 inches or 6 feet 5 inches. And length-wise is 196.2 inches or 16.4 feet. Height-wise, I guess I would say shorter than the Pilot, which is it's at 67.4 inches tall or 5 feet 6 inches. The Pilot itself has a width of 77.5 or 6 feet 5 inches. Lengthwise is about 188 inches or 15.7 feet. Height-wise is about 70, which is a lot taller for sure than the MDX. Yeah, it's 5.9 feet tall. So yeah, and basically that is what I wanted to make sure that all the vehicles can be handled in the process. And it looks like from this point of view, the length of the actual lift itself, as you can see here, the runway or whatever they call it, the runway itself is about 185 inches, whereas the length of the longest car we have is about 196. I think that should be fine. The fact that, you know, it's literally the wheelbase is really what matters in this sense. You'll probably dangle a little bit on both ends in terms of the length of the car, but I've seen cars on lift where, you know, the front and the rear kind of a bit dangles out. I think that should be fine in that case. In terms of our width on this would be, yeah, I can't tell exactly what the width is in that sense. 99 is the width from post to post in terms of the platform here. So the biggest width we have, I believe, is the MDX. The Pilot is 77.5. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the MDX. It's a little bit wider, but they're pretty much the same width, the two SUVs. So we should be all good in that sense. That's what I'm looking for. Do some more research in terms of other lifts provider out there. But anyways, we'll check back to you in a bit.